Peace, love, and light, everyone. I just want to start off this session with saying a little mantra, okay? If you could just repeat with me. Let's just take a moment of silence for a second. Okay. My opinion is my opinion, and yours is yours. Amen. Can we say it one more time for the people in the back? My opinion is my opinion, and yours is yours. See, much like my grandmother used to tell me, opinions are like assholes. We all have one. I just want to start off that session, just saying that to let everybody know that if you don't agree with what we're talking about on the show, that is completely fine. We accept people who have many different views and beliefs. One thing we do not tolerate, though, is hate. Disagreement, I can stand. Hate, we do not spread. So I just wanted to go ahead and just reiterate that for anyone who may just now be joining us on Peace, Love, and Light with Queen Keon. Thank you so much. So something that I've really been sticking to lately is minding my business and drinking my water. I know some of y'all is like, child, you is crazy. But, that really comes in handy a lot of times. I'm telling you. Some people think that it doesn't pay to be lost, but I think it does. Because just when everybody else is caught up in some bullshit, you just looking around like, oh, what happened? You know why? Because you were minding your fucking business. It's so funny, too, because when I think about it, that's something that my friends like to say about me, especially my best friends. They know me very well. Most of the time, Keon is, daydreaming. She's in La La Land. She's lost. I have no idea what the hell you guys are even talking about, even though I'm standing right in the middle of the conversation. Unless it's 100% relevant, then I might just daze out. So I just wanted to go ahead and share that with you guys because I feel like that's something that we all need to be doing. Just like how you might meditate on a daily, do your yoga on a daily, charge your crystals. We should practice minding our business on the daily. I'm telling you, it does a lot of good for the body and also the mind and the spirit, okay? Because let me tell you something. When you mind your business, you ain't got nothing to be worried about, okay? And I'm not talking about minding your business while somebody getting robbed. I'm not talking about minding your business while there's some kind of, social injustice going on in the world and you decide not to speak up about it. I'm just saying. I'm talking about minding your business when it literally has nothing to do with you or nothing to do with harming anyone. See, some of y'all just like to talk shit about people. And that honestly has always been something that really irks me. Like, how when you're in high school and people just love to gossip. See, my form of gossiping is not gossip. My form of gossiping is literally just talking shit about the obvious stuff that everybody else just talking about. But one thing I do not do is bully people. Some of y'all are just bullies, and we need to stop that. That's where that drinking your water and minding your business comes into play. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a laugh here and there, but you just got to learn when to tone it down and when it's appropriate. Because at the end of the day, something that we don't like to admit is that mental health awareness is something that we seriously lack in this country. Yes, I went there. Mental health, guys, and our awareness. Why is this not something we're talking about more? Is it because it's something that we've brushed underneath the rug for so many generations? Are we, misguided, misunderstood? Is anyone even listening if we truly have something to say? Or would it just be us being dramatic? That's something to think about, guys. I don't know about you guys, but every day is a fight for my sanity. That's one of my mom's favorite quotes. Who wrote it? I have no idea. She might have came up with it, but it's definitely on point because especially with the current world that we're in, every day is a challenge. Just waking up and having certain things on the mind, thinking about all the people who are constantly dying, thinking about the sickness that's in the world, thinking about the state of our education system. I don't have any children, but that is something that bothers me. I feel very sorry for the children who are currently dealing with learning in schools or virtual learning, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with a pandemic. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. And our government wants to move on like it's not really anything going on. But when our children are sick again, and there's a whole nother wave of quarantining because of another wave of coronavirus, then we're going to be questioning. But, that's for another podcast. We're going to go ahead and move on. My point being, when it comes to minding thy business, is that it's an art. You want to be aware enough of what's going on in the world, but also you want to block out the unnecessary bullshit. So I'll give you an example if you're not sure as far as like the scale of minding your business, like where does it fall on? Like if I'm walking outside and some woman doesn't pick up after her dog's poop, am I minding my business by not saying something? Or am I just like ignoring something that should definitely be talked about? One of those, might be able to get away with ignoring it, even though I have a problem with seeing shit in the grass. But I'm really talking about situations that matter, like all the people who didn't say anything as they stood around and watched George Floyd's neck be crushed into the ground. I'm talking about the current people in the same police department where they have not yet arrested the murderers of Breonna Taylor. That's right, guys. We're going to go there because there's always something to be said. And at the end of the day, this is what that platform is for. It might be random. It might be scattered, but it's with purpose. So let's just think about it. In those situations, could I mind my business? If I were hearing the police bust into my neighbor's door and knowing, or not even knowing, exactly what was going on, but hearing gunshots fired, would I be able to mind my business? Would I be able to mind my business as I'm walking down the street and I see a police officer kneeling on a man as if he's the pavement underneath him? Would I be able to mind my business? When you think about it, it's just a really disappointing scenario, whichever way it goes. I don't want to get too deep because I do get very emotional, being that I am very empathetic. But I will say that these are conversations that need to be had. I don't know about you guys, but as soon as the whole COVID quarantine thing started, everything hit, It was like we got quarantined, bam. So now we're not going outside. We're losing jobs. I don't know about y'all, but I lost 2 jobs. Got a promotion at a new job and lost a job. So it's been crazy. But at the same time, we're sitting at home. We have this time to reflect and reevaluate. But at the same time, we're indulging more in the media and what they feed us. And then we see this madness on TV of another black man not just being killed, not just being shot, not being lynched, or a man with his knee on another man's neck. And to just be able to see a video of something so gruesome really made me take a step back and really think. And I don't know about you guys, but it was a weight on my mental. It did mentally tear me apart in some shape or form, because talk about feeling helpless. Like, it's one thing to be out there and to be able to be out and about and have these opinions and try to do something and try to fight about it and do something. But we were stuck at home. It was really this fight in me that felt like, how could this happen? How could people just stand around and record this? Why is there footage? Why did no one stop him? Like, as simple as, okay, somebody's life, of course, was going to be taken in that scenario. But even if I had to be the one to sacrifice myself thinking in that scenario, I would have been that person that at least tried to move the cop off of him. It just, I'm sorry, guys. It's one of those things. It gets me every time. And then just to hear that in March, which was actually March 13th was my birthday. I believe the Breonna Taylor situation happened on the 14th, the day after my birthday, to find out that a young woman around my age in the prime of her career was taken by police officers off of busting into her fucking home. You telling me we're not even safe at home where y'all told us we have to be? What? Talk about the weight emotionally that takes on a person. Talk about just seeing it multiple times on your news feeds and hearing about it in conversation after conversation, and just the feeling of being so lost and confused and trying to figure out, what can I do? What do I do? And then really wondering, how am I safe? How do I protect me? What can I do to make sure that me and my family are secure? And just knowing that if they could come into our homes like that, then there really is no true security. There is no way to be safe. But I did not start this episode nor this podcast to cause anxiety. I've honestly never been this vulnerable with people, honestly, period. Outside of my mother and my partner, people don't really get to feel my raw core, and how I feel. Like, I have a lot of feelings, guys, and sometimes I feel like sometimes we just need to be able to talk about that. Like, some of us are not blessed enough with good health insurance to go have a nice therapist or whatever. So sometimes talking to a person at home doesn't necessarily help, but I feel like expressing how you feel and also kind of hearing other stories and just knowing that you're truly not alone, if anything, is the real cure to mental illness in that aspect. We don't realize it, but all of us have some kind of form of mental trauma that has caused us to be ill in some way. And I know some people are like, no, I might have had like the best life, or ain't nothing ever happened to me. But even the most privileged person in life has had an experience that has impacted them. And some of us block it out. Some of us live through it. Some of us go through things that are very extreme, while others are more privileged to not have to suffer on such extreme levels. But everyone's pain is relevant. And that's just something that I feel like I need to tell you. So there's somebody listening who, whoever's out there listening, there's somebody listening who needs to know that I care and I feel you. And I literally feel you. Like, I feel for all of you. One thing that I really can't stand and I've had to learn to accept about myself is that I am a very caring, empathetic person, which means that if I have a friend around me who's feeling some type of way, just believe that I'm going to be asking what's wrong, because some part of me is feeling your pain. So anyway, I hope that wasn't too much for you guys. I already told y'all in the beginning it was going to be raw. It was going to be authentic. I'm not trying to hide from you guys, or else why would I even do this? Why put myself out there to begin with if I'm not going to put myself out there? Now, bit by bit, piece by piece, I hope that you guys can start to email me and tell me your stories, and whether you're sad or happy, whether it's messy. Like, I don't want you guys to feel like it got to be serious. Like, this is just, it's supposed to be a whole fun, atmosphere, a comforting atmosphere, one where you don't feel afraid to laugh and cry all at the same time. Like I said in the beginning, like, I'm not going to have you guys sad the whole time. Don't worry. But I just had to really talk and say, what was on my mind and in my soul, because this is a burden that I've been carrying for the last few months, just with everything that's going on. And those two are they're not the only situations. Like, you guys know, you've been seeing it. You've been seeing, if you're a person of color, if you're Black, African American, whatever you want to call yourself, then and on some level you feel that pain, because a part of you feels like not even you are safe in this world if that can happen to them. I'm talking about minding your business, but that's besides the point, guys. I guess that actually it's not besides the point. That is the point, guys. It came down to a whole minding your business. So in that aspect, what I was saying to begin with is some of us need to be minding our business, but meaning minding our business when it comes to messy things and shedding light on things that are very relevant in our society. Don't be quick to talk about what old girl over there and her man doing and what they should be doing, when you could be talking about arresting the men who killed Breonna Taylor. Y'all got me over here opening up. Y'all getting the raw me, the real me, all of me, okay? But like I said, guys, I want you guys to feel comfortable. So in order for y'all to feel comfortable, I have to put myself out there. I have to let you guys see my vulnerabilities in order for you to feel like you can feel comfortable messaging me with questions or stories or inquiries, because I would love for you guys to do that. Like, y'all really don't understand. Whatever it is that you want to talk about, I am here. Whether that means that you need questions, you have questions that you need answers to from a mentor, like I'm down for finding those kind of people. I already have some people that I'm going to have come on, talk about businesses. They're going to talk about their different, creative things that they do. I know all different types of people. So if you're someone who would love to be featured on the show, or just want to go and write me in and want me to talk about something on the show, then please feel free to email me at thequeenkeon@gmail.com. Okay, guys? And I appreciate y'all so much. If you got through the podcast and you're listening like you really don't know, I commend you, and I just thank you so much for listening to the words that I have to say and the message that was given to me to spread to you. Once again, this is Peace, Light, and Love with the Queen Keon. Thank you so much, guys. I hope everybody has a great day. Bye. So I'm just saying, ladies, just to circle back, let's just go ahead and make sure we're drinking our water and minding our business, unless it comes down to relevant facts that are going to make social changes, okay? Other than that, let's leave the people in the entanglements with the entangling to figure out, okay? I'm just saying. And kings, that goes for you too, okay? Let's stop obsessing about the song WAP and let's figure about how to get that guap. I'm just saying, drink your water, mind your business. All right, guys, and don't y'all forget to head on over to IG and follow Natural Black Unicorn, as well as Chef Keon and Lock, LOC _Empress, EMPRESS. I also want to go ahead and give a shout out to Queen Kisses, okay? If you want to have lips as velvety and soft as a queen, then go ahead and head over to Queen Kisses. That's Q _Kisses on IG and Queen Kisses on Facebook. Hey guys, so I just wanted to go ahead and give you guys an update. I actually recorded this episode 7 days ago. 7 days ago, this was before the Jacob Blake situation happened. So that's why you may not have heard me mention his name. After knowing and hearing about the situation, I felt the need to say something. We just need to take a moment and pray for this man, and also to be grateful that he's alive and that he escaped the situation with his life. I'm talking about, he was just trying to be a good black man, guys. He was doing what a king should do. He intervened. He tried to make a situation better. He de-escalated confrontation, and in return, he was paid back by bullets in his back in front of his children as he was trying to leave, okay? Do you understand, guys? Like, this has something to do with what we were just talking about. Mindfulness versus minding your business. He was being very mindful. He was trying to be a good citizen. He decided that he wanted to help two women who were in an altercation come to some kind of resolution, so that way their lives would not end up on the line. And what did he get in return, guys? What did he get in return? Almost death. And I know that sounds really harsh, but that's the blatant truth. We don't realize how lucky we are to see a survivor. And I know that sounds weird to say we're lucky. Like, yes, his family as well, they hold some kind of luck because he is alive. But y'all don't realize we are lucky. We are lucky to see a survivor after this kind of situation. I'm talking about multiple gunshots in his back. And this is at close range. And that king is alive. He is fighting for his life. So what I need you guys to do is continue praying for him and praying for some kind of justice to come about. You guys know about the protest that happened. There was a protest that people were doing for Jacob Blake. And in return, there was a white supremacist. I'm just going to go ahead and call him that. A white supremacist, Kyle Rittenhouse. He's at the protest and he shoots 2 to 3 people. He shoots 3 people, kills 2 and leaves 1 injured. Meanwhile, the police are standing around, basically congratulating, handing out water, making sure that if he needs anything that he's provided it. Meanwhile, you have a situation where an unarmed black man is trying to help someone and they end up shot. Tell me how that makes sense. Tell me how that can be rationalized on any level. This man is walking around armed, okay? Armed at a protest. And he just gets away without any kind of repercussions. I don't know about you guys, but that does not sit right with me. It does not matter if you stand for Black lives. It doesn't matter if you stand for blue lives. It doesn't matter if you stand for white lives. At the end of the day, we should all be standing for humanity, lives, period. Why should anyone suffer at the hand of another person? We did not create this world. We did not create beings. We have no right to take them out from this world. So just to feel that moment where you feel superior enough to take someone's life is just disgraceful and is very disheartening. I don't know about you guys, but it disgusts me. It makes me very angry and also makes me feel very lost. It falls back in line with all those questions I asked earlier. What can we do? How can we possibly feel safe when this is our society? I don't know, guys. It threw me off. It threw me for a loop. But I just wanted to share that message with you guys and let y'all know that I am aware of the recent injustice that has taken place. And I'm not disregarding him at all. So make sure that you guys are praying for Jacob Blake and his family. Just pray, send out all your positive energy, all your light, all your love. Send it their way and just let the universe know that people care, okay? Put it out into the universe. Let the universe absorb all that energy and reflect it back to Jacob because he needs it right now as he's fighting for his life. Like I said, it's a blessing. It's a blessing. Especially now because we have proof. We have proof of an injustice that's taken place and the person survived, okay? They cannot deny us. They can no longer pretend that we are making this shit up. They are killing us. They are killing us. So the question is, what are we going to do? So just to reiterate, guys, I feel like this situation actually is the perfect one to kind of explain the gravity of mindfulness versus minding your business. So let me go ahead and just make this quick. So we have mindfulness on one hand. Mindfulness, we'll call mindfulness Jacob because Jacob was being mindful in a situation. It seems to me, based on the information I was provided, that Jacob might have been minding his business to begin with his children in the car. And maybe he saw something that just didn't rub him the right way. Maybe he saw a confrontation between 2 black women who could possibly end up in jail once the police showed up. And he decided that he wanted to try and de-escalate the situation so that way it didn't turn into something gruesome. Maybe he wanted to make a good example for his children, set a good example as far as who you want to be as a human. Do you want to ignore and turn a blind eye if somebody's getting harmed, if they're getting robbed, if they're being disrespected? No, you want to be mindful. You want to be knowledgeable and aware of what's going on and also make the proper choice in order to properly handle that situation. And honestly, I don't see anything wrong with what he did. If anything, that's what more of us need to do. More of us need to step outside of what we're doing and really just give people a moment at a time and maybe intervene. And sometimes that can help in so many ways. So back to the point. we have Jacob, and then we have Kyle Rittenhouse. Kyle Rittenhouse, apparently worked for the Explorer Department in Kenosha. That's right, guys. I'm giving out information. Apparently, he worked for the police department in the Explorer program in Kenosha. So right away, we can already tell that Kyle might have a certain mindset. Kyle already believes that hashtag Blue Lives Matter. Kyle already believes that the injustice done to black people is made up and probably due to our circumstance. Kyle probably believes that we deserve it. And therefore, this is why Kyle probably volunteered to go be a guard, quote unquote, at the protests in Kenosha, right? This is the perfect example of how you could be minding your business, guys. Don't be like Kyle. Don't intervene and involve yourself in a situation that literally has nothing to do with you. I'm talking about you aren't even officially a part of the police department, and you already want to take justice into your own hands. Now, can we just talk about that for a moment too, guys? Because I don't know about y'all, but I've heard of citizen's arrest. We've heard of it. But where in the manual, or even the verbal one that everyone's used to hearing about when you hear about citizen's arrest, where did we hear that it's okay to shoot and take people's lives? Because if anything, I thought a citizen's arrest would be me detaining the person while I wait for the cops to come do their job, right? Well, Kyle Rittenhouse, he felt like he was superior. He felt like he was the one that held all the power because he had a gun. So what did he decide to do with his hate and his rage? He shot 2 people and killed them and left another one injured. And then, on top of that, walks right past the police and gets away. Not just gets away off of he ran for his life to escape the cops. No, guys. He casually walks right towards the cops, letting them know what he did. He blatantly lets them know that he shot a man. Okay? I don't know about y'all. Maybe it's because I'm black, but I would never have such a calm persona, even if I was calling the cops in regards to someone attacking me and me having to shoot them. I would still be fearful that possibly I would be in some kind of trouble. Kyle Rittenhouse was so assured and so confident in a task that he just completed that he nonchalantly walked away as if he did not just take 2 people's lives. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Mindfulness versus minding your business. On one hand, we have someone who ends up wounded because of the situation. Life nearly lost. On another, we have someone so privileged that they don't even understand repercussions because they have the law backing them. He could have been minding his business. Kyle could have been minding his business. He did not have to shoot at anyone who was protesting for Jacob. Why would you want to shoot protesters? Huh? Unless you just don't agree with the message. You must have agreed with the execution. And above all, I will tell you why he was mad. I will tell you. Because Jacob Blake survived. That's right. Say it again. Jacob Blake survived. And that is the issue. That is why they are mad right now. That is why they are filled with so much hate right now. Because for once, we have something to back up all the stories that we have constantly seen and been told, guys. We have a survivor. A survivor. Okay? That means everything. Everything. And that man's mindfulness. His mindfulness is what saved him, because he probably saved 2 other lives. Because we don't know what kind of situation he was breaking up. We don't know how that could have escalated. We don't know. And that's the fact. But what we do know is that we saw someone unjustly get shot by those who are supposed to be protecting and serving. What we do know is that we saw a citizen unjustly take 2 other people's lives and not have to suffer any kind of repercussions. What we do know is that there is no justice. There is no peace. unless we create it. We manifest our reality. We have to take control. Whatever it is that we can do to spread the message, to spread awareness, to make change, that's what we need to do. But what we don't need to do is be spreading lies and spreading rumors. We need to be minding our business, and we need to be mindful. There's too many things occurring out here for us to be talking about who's entangled with who, whose divorce is happening when, what relationship is failing now. No, mind your business. Don't be like Kyle, caught up in something that has nothing to do with you based on your feelings, okay? Be like Jacob. Be strong. Be a warrior. Be a survivor. Be one that does not settle and stand for any bullshit. Be about it. That's all I'm saying. We need to go ahead and just switch that mentality, switch that thinking. Let's stop worrying about the tea and the shade. Let's worry about getting justice. Let's worry about locking the folks up that killed Breonna Taylor. Let's worry about making sure that Jake Blake survives. Let's make sure that Kyle Rittenhouse is prosecuted. Let's make change, guys. Like, really, that is all that I'm stressing. We are the generation of change. There's no reason why all of this would be happening if we weren't all meant to do something. So when it comes down to the social injustice that's going on, please be mindful. Make sure you're mindful. Celebrity gossip, mind your business. But if you hear that another black man or black woman is harmed or killed, if you hear that more children are being taken into sex trafficking, then you need to speak up. Be mindful. Mindful of the changes that need to come about. And not just of the lies that need to be spread. Not just of the rumors that are being talked about. Not just of the latest tea. But I know you guys have been listening for a while, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in today, and I really just want to thank you all for listening to what I had to say. I don't know about y'all, but this, the last few months, this whole corona pandemic has pretty much had its weight on me emotionally and mentally. I know physically as well, a lot for a lot of us, but it's just the emotional and mental weight. Dealing with all of the injustice going on and the lives being taken while you're currently having to deal with quarantining and keeping your health up to par and being safe and social distancing. And it's just like, it's a lot. Trying to be a part of the world, but not in it, or being in the world, but not of it. So sometimes we just need to take a step back and breathe and refocus our energy. Figure out how to productively communicate and express those feelings that we have inside. So that's what I'm here for, guys. Expressing my vulnerability and my feelings so that way you feel free to express yours. Please email me at thequeenkeon@gmail.com if you have any questions, any concerns, any comments. I want to know how you guys are feeling. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you're going through, how your experience has been, what you feel. Just talk to me, guys. I just want to know. That's what this podcast is all about. I want you guys to feel safe to express and be vulnerable. We can talk about everything and anything under the sun. Now, although I am not here for all of the shade and the tea, we do have moments where we can have fun and play around with that, as long as no one's getting hurt. That's what it's all about here. We want to make sure that it's all about peace, love, and light. We never want anyone to feel bullied or degraded or disrespectful, because that's not my intention. Everything that we do here is with intention. So I just want you guys to be mindful. Once again, that word comes into play. But I told you guys this episode was all about mindfulness versus minding your business. And after this, I hope it helps. So if you like what you heard and you want to hear more, then go ahead and tell your friends, tell your family, tell your folks, okay? Please feel free to email me at thequeenkeon@gmail.com if you have any questions, concerns, or stories you want to tell. Thank you for your time and have a blessed day. Remember to be safe out there. Wear your mask or don't. Use hand sanitizer. Wash your hands. Just be safe, guys. And make sure you're not driving too crazy out there on the road. I'll catch you next time on the next episode with Queen Keon. Bye. Ever wake up and find yourself thinking, damn, my lips are ashy as fuck? That can't be me. Get you some Queen Kisses. That's right, ladies. It'll have your lips nice and hydrated and as soft as velvet. So go ahead and head over to Q_kisses and get kissed by Queen. Okay?